we will continuing the chapter fluid mechanics. In the previous session, we have discussed until the Bernoulli's theorem. Now we will continue the chapter of fluid mechanics with viscosity. Okay, let's start. Viscosity. What is meant by viscosity? The force exerted by the liquid surface, that means top layer of the liquid surface on the bottom layer, is called the viscosity. It is also known as viscous force, or we can say it has internal friction that acts between two liquid surfaces. It is the best definition. It is the internal friction between the two liquid layers, that means top layer and the bottom layer. Top and bottom layers. Now the diagram is, first suppose it has the four liquid layers. Okay, here the force exerted on the bottom layer is this. That means the top layer exerts a force on the bottom layer, that is called viscous force, and the bottom layer exerts the force on the below bottom layer, and the below bottom layer will exert the force on the below bottom layer, and at last the liquid layers will become like this. We will see. This is the liquid layer. And so we can see that the liquid layer has been falling. We can see that the velocity of the topmost layer has the highest and the bottommost layer is lowest. So we can conclude, as we move from top to bottom, the velocity is decreases. Okay, because the viscous force is acting. The viscous force is acting on the bottom layer by the upper layer. Okay, now this is the viscous force acting on the bottom layer. Now we will derive the formula. According to Newton, force is directly proportional to area, and force is directly proportional to minus dV upon dx. That means as the distance from the topmost layer increases, the velocity will decrease. Here, negative sign indicates the number of layers increases, the velocity will decrease. So from this we can derive a formula as F directly proportional to A minus A into dV by dx. Here proportionality constant is eta. That means the viscous force or coefficient of viscosity. F is equal to minus Na into dV upon dx. Okay. Now we will discuss what is the effect of temperature. As the temperature increases, the coefficient of viscosity will increase. Now we have discussed the formula and the temperature dependence. Now we will write the units. From this we can write the equation as Newton. Here meter, here it will become meter square, and here it will become meter second power of minus 1, and here it is become meter. So meter cancel, so it will become Newton meter second power of minus 1. Okay? Yeah. It is Newton meter square or Pascal second. Or decapoise. DECA, deca. That means 10. And the relationship between these three is, or the main unit is poise. Okay. Now the relationship between these three is 1 Newton meter square second to the power of minus 1 is equal to 1 Pascal second is equal to 1 poise is equal to 10 to the power of minus 1 decapoise. Now we have completed the topic viscosity. Now I will explain. Viscosity is the internal friction. Viscosity is the internal friction between the two liquid layers. For example, this is the top layer, this is the bottom layer. Now the top layer exerts a force on the bottom layer, and it will drag the bottom layer some distance backwards, while the bottom layer will move. And this is the top layer. Now this is the bottom layer, this is at same level. Now this will drag, this will come down backwards. This is the case. As we move from top to bottom, the velocity decreases. That means at the top layer it will move like this. The bottom layer will come. Now here they are same position. Now the bottom layer will push and the bottom layer will the bottom velocity will decrease. So as the subsequential layer increases, the velocity of the subsequential layers will decrease. The viscous force is acting on the bottom layer by the upper layer. Sorry, here there is a mistake. The viscous force is force exerted okay is force exerted by the upper layer on the bottom layer, as we seen here. Now according to Newton, force is directly proportional to area and force is directly proportional minus dV by dx, because here negative sign indicates as the number of layer increases, the velocity will decrease. As we have seen here, from top to bottom, the velocity will decrease. So, as distance increases, velocity will decrease. F is directly proportional to minus A into dV by dx. Now the proportionality constant is eta. As the temperature increases, the coefficient of viscosity will increase. The units of coefficient of viscosity are Newton meters per second, or Pascal second, or poise. The units relationship: 1 Newton square second is equal to 1 Pascal second is equal to 1 poise is equal to 10 power minus 1 decapoise. Now we have completed viscosity topic. We will discuss the next topic. Copy this. Okay. Now we will discuss the next topic. The next topic is flow of liquids in a cylindrical tube. Flow of fluids in a cylindrical tube. Now, the diagram for this is the diagram. And the liquid is flowing through the cylindrical tube. Now, the pressure exerted on by the top layer is P1 and the pressure exerted by the bottom layer is P2. P1 and P2 are the pressures exerted by top and bottom layers Okay, now there is a velocity equation. This is the important equation, that is V is equal to pressure 1 minus pressure 2 into R square minus small r square upon 8 eta and length. Okay, now we will discuss what are the terms here. As we have discussed here, P1 is the pressure exerted by the top layer on the liquid, P2 is the pressure exerted by the top layer on the liquid, and R is the radius, total radius of the cylindrical tube. R is the some radius. What is the radius? We will see in the subsequent cases. Here eta is the coefficient of viscosity and L is the length of the tube. And now what is the velocities? Now we will see what are the velocities along the wall and at the center. Okay, we will see. First we will see at the top along the walls. Velocity along the walls. Here along the walls. Now the case is R is equal to 0. This is the case. Now the velocity will become V is equal to P1 minus P2 into R square by sorry students, here the value is 4 upon 4 eta L. Now we have seen here from this, the velocity is maximum along the walls of the container. So velocity of fluids is maximum along the walls. Now we have seen the velocity of fluids is maximum along the walls. Now we will see what is the velocity at the center, the of radius R, at the distance, or you can say center, or distance R from the walls. Now the case is a capital R is equal to small r. Capital R is equal to small r. So R square minus R square is equal to 0. R square minus R square is equal to 0. We can conclude that velocity at the center of the cylindrical axis is 0. This is the flow of liquids in a cylindrical tube. Now I will explain this. A cylindrical tube having pressure P1 by the top layer and P2 by the bottom layer, and at the center we will discuss the flow of liquids at the top layer and at the along the center axis. Here P1 is equal to, here P1 and P2 are the pressures exerted by the top and bottom layers on the liquid. Formula of velocity is V is equal to P1 minus P2 into R square minus R square upon 4 eta L. Now we will find out what is the velocity along the walls. Along the walls, small r is equal to 0. So we can neglect this. We can neglect this term. We will write only P1 minus P2 into R square upon 4 eta L. So velocity of fluids is maximum along the walls. Now we want to find out what is the velocity at the center or distance r from the walls. The distance along the from the walls is r is equal to r. So we can neglect this r square minus r square term. Okay, the whole equation will become 0. It will 0. So 0 into anything is equal to 0. So velocity at the center of cylindrical axis is 0. Now we will discuss Poiseuille's equation. The Poiseuille equation is simple. Poiseuille's equation, it is denoted by Q, capital Q, or it is the flow change in volume with time. It's equal to dV by dt is equal to, the formula is same as that of this, but there is a change. Pi r to the power of 4 upon 8 eta L into P1 minus P2. This is a simpler equation. Now we will derive an simple equation from this also. Q is equal to dV by dt is equal to P1 minus P2. We will take a big bracket and 8 eta L upon pi r to the power of 4. We will take this term as x or something, pick your r. Okay, now Q is equal to P1 minus P2 upon R. Now we will compare with the current electricity chapter. I is equal to V upon R. Here I is equal to Q. That means volume flow rate. I is equivalent to Q. And here voltage is equal to pressure difference. V is equal to P1 minus P2. And the resistance is equal to this term. That means 8 eta L upon pi r to the power of 4. And R is equivalent to pi r to the power of 4 upon 8 eta L. Okay, now we have completed the flow of liquids in a cylindrical tube and Poiseuille's equation. Now I I will explain Poisson's equation. Poisson's equation is uh, used to find out the volume flow rate. It is also equal to Q. Q is equal to dQ by dt is equal to pi r to the power of 4 upon 8 eta L into P1 minus P2. Now if we invert this and divide by this, that we will get P1 minus P2 upon 8 eta L upon pi r to the power of 4. Now we will take this 8 eta L in divided by pi r to the power of 4 as R. We will get the equation. Okay. Now if we compare this, I is equal to V by R from the current electricity chapter, I is equivalent to Q, V is equivalent to P1 minus P2, and R is equivalent to pi r to the power of 4 upon 8 eta L. Now we have completed flow of liquid in a cylindrical tube, Poisson's equation, and the question of viscosity. We will discuss Stokes' law and terminal velocity now. Stokes' law. It defines the force. It defines the force exerted by the force exerted by on this sphere by the viscous force. The force exerted on the sphere by the viscous force. It was given by Stokes. Scientist Stokes. And the force is F is equal to 6 pi eta R V, which is flowing, or I will write this again, by the viscous force. Sorry, there is a small mistake. By the viscous, by the sphere, on the sphere in motion, by viscous force. Now the force exerted is F is equal to 6 pi m R V. Now we will conclude with the terminal velocity. Terminal velocity. Now we will find out what is meant terminal velocity. It is for the freely falling sphere. A freely falling sphere exerts weight, upthrust, and the viscous force. It experiences weight W, and the second is upthrust, and viscous force. First the sphere accelerates, but after some time the three forces will become equal. So velocity is equal to constant, and we will call this velocity as terminal velocity. The formula of terminal velocity is V is equal to 2 by 9 r square rho minus sigma into g upon eta. Now in liquid, here we know that eta is the quotient of viscosity and r is the radius of the sphere, and rho is the density of the fluid, and sigma is the density of the solid sphere. Now we will conclude that terminal velocity is proportional to rho minus sigma. What happens if sigma is greater than rho? Vt will become negative. Vt is negative. Due to this, the bubbles will go up. Due to this, the bubble rises up, and here Vt is proportional to r square. Okay, we will discuss the formula in the next session. That's all for today. Thank you.